all for joining us tonight as we celebrate the Joseph Korbel School of International Studies. For more than half a century, the Korbel School has educated and inspired leaders whose work spans the globe. From a Secretary of the State to foreign ministers in Chile and Iran, from a Chief of Staff in the U.S. Army to the first U.S. Ambassador to the African Union, Korbel graduates are shaping the diplomacy and political environments of our world. The reach of the school is broad, and it is also deep, with programs like the annual Crisis Engagement and Negotiation Exercise. Orchestrated every year by our graduate students, the exercise gives Korbel graduate students the opportunity to develop their knowledge from the classroom, to work together to make time-sensitive decisions in the face of crisis situations.
And what we've always done here, of course, is to honor the founder, that is Joseph Korbel, who was a remarkable person, a remarkable academic, a remarkable diplomat, and also a refugee. He was a Czechoslovak diplomat who had to escape the Nazi invasion in March 1939. And he came back to his country only to have to leave 9 years later when the communists seized power in February 1948. So he came with his family to Denver in 1949. His wife sitting next to him, she was the navigator as they drove from New York to Denver. She kept saying, "Joseph, we need to be going up." A little confused by those wheat fields out there. And they had three kids in the back seat, including a future Secretary of State, Madeleine Korbel Albright. So this is a particularly, I think, important anniversary because, in case you haven't heard, the Korbel School, we've moved into new digs. It is really extraordinary what this Anna and John C. International Relations Complex has meant to our school. We have much needed space for classrooms, study areas, spaces for students to gather. We even have a bigger office for the dean, I must confess. There's so much that has really gone in the right direction, but more important than just being sort of bricks and mortar is what this building is a platform for modern communication. We have students that can sit in one room and talk to students in the Middle East. It is really quite amazing.
Unless you're so cold for sitting on the ice, it's too cold to sit in your seats. I tell you what, you want to get a guy to speed up his speech, stick everybody on the ice. I don't know. Thank you all for being so gracious. It's an honor to be here. And Chris and I, the dean and I, have been friends for a long time. And I've been doing this job a long time. Chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee for years, involved in that endeavor since I was a 32-year-old senator. I got there when I was 29. And there's certain people that I look to over my career and say I actually learned a lot from them. Chris is one of those guys. The ambassador is one of those guys. Some of you may know, if you follow foreign policy, I had a deep, abiding interest in the Balkans. I'm that guy who pushed for lifting the arms embargo. I'm the guy that had that face-to-face confrontation with Slobodan Milosevic, and he asked me what did I think of him. He spoke perfect English. I said, I think you're a war criminal. I'm going to spend the rest of my days trying to see you tried as one. Made me very popular. But Chris was there. Chris was in the Balkans and played a major role with Ambassador Holbrooke. I had a physics professor who once defined an inflection point as you're riding down the highway with both hands on the steering wheel at 60 miles an hour, and you abruptly turn 7, 10 degrees in one direction or another. You can never get back on the path you're on before. Ken and my colleagues in the Senate used to always kid me because I'm always quoting Irish poets. They think I do it because I'm Irish. That's not the reason. They're simply the best poets in the world. But there's a great line from William Butler Yeats's poem Easter Sunday 1916. The 100th anniversary I was in Ireland. It was celebrated just 2 months ago. And he was trying to describe his Ireland after the first rising. But the line he used better describes the world we're in today, in my view, than it did his Ireland in 1960. He said, and I mean this sincerely, he said, all's changed utterly. A terrible beauty has been born. In the last 15 years, all has changed in the world. He said, of course, for the world, for the next generation or more, just as our fathers and grandfathers did for us and grandmothers after World War II. It's in our power to do it. I thank you all for listening. Thank you for what you do. And may God bless you and may God protect our troops. Thank you very much.